Hi there, my name is Lydia Martinez and I am the owner and principal strategist for Elle Marketing and Events, and I'm so happy to be here today. One of the things that I really, it comes up on a regular basis and I really wanted to talk to you about today is when it's okay to not do marketing. It comes up with clients all the time where they will say things like, I've got to do social media. I have to do e-blasts. I'm supposed to be blogging. I have to update my website. Is SEO really important? All these different questions that come up on a regular basis. Do I have to do all these things? And the answer is no. Or they've started marketing out one way and they'll keep trying to do all those marketing things start to finish while simultaneously trying to run a business, manage employees, grow. They're, dealing with supply chain issues and all these things. And so they realize that they literally don't have the mental space to do all the marketing things that maybe they were doing once upon a time. So today I wanted to talk about when it's okay to let go of certain marketing tactics or even not start them at all. One of the big things that comes up with marketing, especially in a digital landscape, things have changed so much over the past few years in the marketing world. And because of that, rapid change, sometimes certain marketing tactics or tools are just no longer applicable. So a big example of this once upon a time was MySpace. Once upon a time, tons of bands were using MySpace to get the word out there about their bands and their music. But MySpace is no longer necessarily relevant in this particular climate. And so does it make sense to maintain a MySpace page? No. Even more recent than that, because that is, MySpace is like ancient history in the world of digital marketing, is Facebook Creator Studio. When I first started doing social media posting and scheduling, it's been about 12 years now. When I first started doing it, we would very often use a scheduling tool like Hootsuite or something like that to push content out on a regular basis, and including onto Facebook. But now it doesn't necessarily make sense to do that, especially in light of Facebook Creator Studio. Facebook likes you to use their platform. It likes you to use their tools to be more effective in spreading the word and getting the word out there. And so because of that, you get much more engagement if you use Facebook Creator Studio to post and schedule your posts to Facebook and Instagram than you do through a third-party application. So it doesn't make sense to use, Hootsuite or a Buffer or any of the other, dozens and dozens of tools that are out there to publish to those platforms. So if it's no longer applicable, it's outdated, it no longer works, or there's something better, you can give yourself permission to leave that in the dust. You don't have to do it. You can let it go. Another way to make a decision about what you should use versus not use is use your metrics, use your analytics. If you try something and you give it a good try, you try it out, you tweak it, you adjust your strategy, for 2 or 3 or 4 months, and it just isn't converting the way that you want or the way that you projected, or it's more time consuming or arduous than you wanted, guess what? If your numbers don't mean that it is effective, go ahead and leave it behind. You can do that. The numbers don't lie. And so even if you're kind of attached to it, it might be wise to leave that in the past and leave it behind if it just doesn't make sense. You're not getting the sales, you're not getting the conversions, you're not getting the engagement, you're not getting people to your website using that platform, all those different things. Another thing to consider is it a tool or is it a marketing tactic that no longer reaches your demographic? The people that pay attention to your content. So if you know that you are trying to reach moms that are 28 to 38. And you know that you want moms that are, also working mothers, and that are, so they have their kind of their own income that goes into the family pool. They make the majority of the buying decisions. They have anywhere from 2 to 3 kids. If you know those different things about who you're trying to reach and sell to, you can choose where you want to focus your marketing. So it can be, maybe you're then focusing on Pinterest, and you're also focusing on Instagram, and you're working on getting your Instagram followers up so that you can sell directly on Instagram. So keep those things in mind when you're trying to reach your demographic. The other thing to also think about as you are doing your social media strategy, and if you want to let things go or leave things behind or give yourself permission to not even start, is if you don't have time to do it right. And the reason why I talk about the time to do it right is because if you commit to doing something, you want to make sure that you're doing the best job possible. If you only do it halfway, guess what? It actually hurts you. It doesn't help you. Or if you don't do it well, or you don't understand how to maximize your marketing tactic, it may actually hurt you. So imagine sending out an e-blast to your client list. You've spent time building up this list, or you have it imported from your cash registers and things like that. You've got, a couple thousand people, and you want to send out an e-blast. But the e-blast is full of typos, and the promo code that you sent out doesn't actually work. Guess what? You actually hurt yourself. You came across as less professional to your clients or your customers than you really should have. And so it can hurt you rather than help you in the long term. The other thing to consider when you're doing social media, say you're on Facebook, you're doing a great job, your Facebook page is running like clockwork, you've got great content, and you decide that you're just going to auto post all your Facebook posts directly over to Instagram. And that's how you're going to start running your Instagram channel. Guess what? That is not a great shortcut. Facebook and Instagram, even though they are now the same company, they're different platforms. It's almost like they're different countries that speak different languages. And so you can't post the exact same thing to Facebook and just auto post it to Instagram. It doesn't give people a reason to follow you on both platforms. It also means that anybody that's following you on Instagram can tell that it was originally a Facebook post and you couldn't be bothered to speak the language in Instagram town. So that's another thing where if you're just going to do it halfway or take shortcuts that aren't the right shortcuts to do it well, you're actually better quitting that platform until you're ready, until it makes sense. One of the things that I do with social media channels that are not necessarily active anymore but are still useful is I will pin a post or pin a tweet or pin some sort of informational bit right up at the top that says, hey, we're barely on Instagram anymore, or we're barely on Twitter anymore. If you want to reach out to us urgently, you can email us here or visit us on our Facebook page or our Instagram page, wherever it is that you are going to mostly be. I actually don't recommend just deleting the channel, because guess what? It is good SEO, search engine optimization. Social channels are great for being found. They're not always great for converting if you're not talking to your right demographic and you're not keeping up on things. So that's something else to kind of keep in mind, is you can adapt, you can refresh, but you can also push pause and say, I'm not actively going to work on this anymore. One more example of maybe not starting things if you just don't have the time and resources. I have an email list for Elle Marketing. It's quite robust, actually, because I teach a lot of classes, and a lot of times people that come to my classes will sign up for my email list. But right at this moment, we are actually not sending out emails because I want to provide a lot of value to the people that get my emails. And so right now we're working on building up social media content. We're working on building up my blog content on my website. We're working on building up the website as a whole to be really user-friendly so that anytime we're sending out information via email to people that have said, I want to hear from you, that we're giving them something that is so valuable that they are going to tune in every single time, that they're going to want to read more, that they're going to want to see more, and that they're going to want to actually do more and get to know us and what we're capable of and why we do what we do. So that's another example of giving yourself permission to not do marketing until it's the right time to do it in the right place and to the right people. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you can take this and give yourself permission to let something go, or give yourself permission to not start something just yet. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Lydia with Elle Marketing, and please reach out if there's anything that we can do to help you understand what it is that you can let go of in your marketing strategy. Have a great day.